From the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Gardening Inside Out, a podcast with highlights from our Saturday morning live show, answering all your gardening questions, giving you plant advice for any space in your life. Let's start the show.
Hey everyone, it's Caroline Gant.
Hey everyone, it's Austin Lowen.
Hey, Tyler Blankenship here.
We're back for another week. How many weeks has it been? 49.
Really?
No, we're not at 49 yet.
We're at like 43.
Huh?
I don't
Maybe.
know. I upload all the episodes, so I should know because I punch that number in each week, but it's in the fours.
We started in August, September, something around then.
Yeah. We'll be to a year pretty soon.
It's
So
evolved.
congratulations, everyone, to us and those who have been listening to the podcast for
Yes.
almost a whole year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
It's cool. It's fun.
It's not
It is.
quite the 6 years that Josh and David have, but this is a new endeavor.
One day
It's a
soon
freshie.
we'll be at 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm doing this week?
What are you?
Going up to Michigan where it's not going to be hot like it is here.
You're leaving us.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving
Yes, I
us to
am.
the heat. Just so y'all know, Middle Tennessee's really nice today, y'all, but this week's about to get summer.
Yeah, y'all are going to be roasting this
Summer's
weekend.
hitting. I saw like 95 or something on like Thursday or Friday.
Gross.
Ugh.
I won't be here.
I think the switch is finally flipping because that's typically what we have been seeing down here the past few years is a really roasty June. That's been absent so far.
Yep. So far, get ready.
It's swimming weather down here, though, so it's time.
My
Time to
kids
get
been in
here.
that pool.
The higher the temperature, the greater the feeling of cool when you jump in the water.
Until all the pools get hot because it's so hot outside.
Then you got to jump into rivers or the creeks,
Where the water is always flowing.
right.
That's right.
bubbling up from good earth.
Mm.
You know what though? It's been such a lush year, plant-wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the rainfall, all the cool weather. Like, it's just been great. I talked to a
feel like
grower.
maybe the past 5-10 years it hasn't looked this good.
Yeah. It is so lush. Maybe
It
we
is.
won't have a drought this year because of that.
That would be great. I have plants that have been established. They've been in the ground like 2 to 3 years. And this year is the year that I was like, oh, wow, look at you go.
And that's usually kind of the explosion. It always seems like on that 3rd to 4th season is whenever you really see things jump and get big and do what they're supposed to. I love it.
It just shows that ample regular rainfall, this is what you get. And it also, hopefully, for some folks, reminds you that watering makes a difference. You know, I mean, my garden thrives on a lot of neglect, but I've watched the difference that this abundant rainfall has made.
And it's crazy too. It's just like Mother Nature's water is better than our water for some reason. It's just like when it naturally gets into the earth the way that it should, it just seems like it just promotes just vegetation. I mean, we live in a vegetative state anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we are green.
Well, our water has all that, not great stuff for the plants in it.
It rain's the way to go.
And
baby.
you have to let it run. Listen, the times that I have forgotten that my hose was on and let it run for an entire day, then my garden beds were so beautiful and lush.
It's a deep
because
soaking.
Yes, exactly. It like got in there. My water bill was a little bit higher than it should be, but my plants were happy, so all good.
You know what's crazy? I noticed yesterday. I meant to speak about this.
Oh,
My quick fire hydrangea. It's a tree form. It's beautiful. I cut it back once a year. It's really, really easy. It's in full show right now. Y'all, I'm going to take y'all a video so you can watch this. The insect activity that is humming around this plant is absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it. Flies, sweat bees, blister beetles,
all the not
the
fun stuff.
gauntlet. They are like all about the reproductive parts of this plant right now. And like, it is a hum. You go to it and you like make a noise or you like touch it or like blow on it or something. They just like poof up and then they're right back down into the plant. It is crazy to see.
My quick fire is not in full bloom yet. It's not in as much sun as yours. So I'll be interested to see if mine does the same thing.
Oh, it will. I mean, it happens every year. It just seems like this year the insects are also loving what Mother Nature's given it, and they are all over it.
We do have some big bugs this year. Big old mosquitoes. Yuck.
There is something else to that. Just the years that it takes to get something established, that's a thing.
It is a thing.
Yes, it is. And we always tell people like I think 2 to 3 years, but you're right, like 3 to 4 is when you're really going to see that plant do what it should be doing.
Yeah.
And I have some established beds that have been around for like 6 years, and now they're doing too much.
Yeah.
It's time to back them off a little bit.
Yeah, we all get excited when we put plants in. It just gets better every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with as long as you get them established and watered in, you're looking good. I mean, a prime example is my Black-Eyed Susan, the giant one, the Rudbeckia maxima.
Oh, mine is insane this year.
Yeah, and I've got 6 or 7 stalks now in this bed. It just keeps slowly expanding, and I love the way it looks. And then also the milkweed underneath that and the regular Rudbeckia underneath that, and it's just like it screams abundance.
Austin's least favorite plant. Yeah, I planted mine last spring, and I've got about 7 blooms on it this year so far. Well, so far, that's all they're going to have. But
yeah, not my fave.
then
But
that's okay.
You know, speaking of an established plant or a plant that has established in my bed, I was looking at it yesterday and I was in all of it. I've got 2, used to have 3. The winter of 22 took one of them. This is the old blue billows hydrangea, my blue billies. Well, they're right next to each other. Very interesting. They're looking good this year. Like, this is the best blooming year I've had on them since I've had them. So that's awesome. I'm excited about that. But the one on the left, all blue. All blue. The one on the right, I'm not even joking, y'all. It's like 1.5 feet from the other one. All pink.
Really?
Uh-huh. And we should know this anyway, that the pH of your soil determines the color of your blooms. Lower pH, typically blue. Higher pH, typically pink.
But those are right next door to each other.
They are 1.5 feet from each other. Totally different bloom color.
Are you annoyed?
A little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell.
I am. A little.
That's the magic.
I
The
like
garden
blue.
magic.
I want the blue. I don't want that pink next to it. And it's not even a great pink. It's kind of an annoying pink. And I never say that.
That is huge. I'm a little bit speechless coming from you.
I love my pink flowers.
I love pink flowers.
I do. But
Is it like a in between?
Yes. It's like not a vivid, true pink. It's not a cute, soft pink. It's
just
somewhere blah.
It's just a pink.
But the blue one is fantastic. And it's really, really pretty. I'm very happy with that right now.
That's pretty crazy, though, that they're side by side and one is blue and one is pink.
Yeah. Like, how could pH change?
Get you one of them soil testers. Tell us what.
My soil tester is the hydrangea. I can tell.
But now I want to know.
Like what the difference in pH is?
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be fun. But I'm not a scientist.
Let's make you become one. Let's get you a pH tester and do it.
Okay.
We have them here at the nursery. You're going home with one today.
You know,
everyone listening wants to know. All right. Sorry. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, it's been a really good hydrangea year for us, too. My incredible hydrangeas, the blooms on them, I showed y'all a picture earlier. The blooms are absolutely massive. Just massive. They're bigger than my head.
Yeah, mine's not great. Mine is not great.
You didn't plant just regular Incredible, though. Which one did you plant? Tell the people.
I don't want to tell anyone.
Tell them.
I planted Blush Incredible, and I have to be honest, I'm not happy with the performance of that one.
Not doing it for you.
It's not.
Well, you know me. I'm never a big proponent of moving stuff, but maybe you should move it. Maybe it needs a better spot. Yeah, I said it. Go ahead and move it. I've never told you that before.
And it's on the record. Everyone listening right now heard that. All right, I will move them. I will. My dog trampled one of them. One of them just didn't come up. Well, one of them came up and then tanked. My dog ran over another one back and forth while she was chasing a squirrel. And then the third one, it's okay.
Just not great.
It's not great.
On our lot, too.
Happy.
When I watch those on the lot, they don't perform near as well as Incredible. Just sitting in their pots. So
nobody told
I'll say it. Tyler, how tall are your bananas?
They are not as tall this year. I guess they're probably getting towards 7-8 feet tall right now.
Okay.
I did a huge culling a couple months ago, and so half of them are now trying to root back in and reestablish themselves where I moved them. It was a bit hectic, and then there's a ton of pups now from the nodes that I chopped them off at that are currently sprouting new growth all over where I dug things out.
Nice.
So I'm probably going to have to cull those too. I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
It's not.
No, it will never stop.
It's perpetual.
Well,
this is your life now.
That's fine. I don't, as long as they're small, that's great. But these big established stumps, if you are not prepared and if you don't have the space, get ready. Now, if you have the space, it's going to be paradise. And
Also, get ready.
yes,
Yeah.
we have some Cope's gray tree frogs that live in our backyard, and they are literally like hanging out on the leaves and on the branches of this banana tree. It feels like we're in a tropical rainforest.
That's cool.
And like, it's such a cool plant to observe an entire year of growth of.
It really is. It's amazing to watch how big they get. You know what else? It's almost blackberry picking season.
Oh.
Yeah. I wish I had some. My Natchez, I know we have moved a lot of the central fruiting plants in my garden to like the margins. And, some of them just get a bit messy for us, for our likings, And so you got to think about, well, is this rotting fruit going to attract flies if you don't pick enough of it? It's little considerations you dawn on over time.
Ours are insane. Our blackberry crop this year was nuts. I mean, I just got, just native blackberries just all in the woods, just everywhere.
Yeah.
And they are just loaded this year.
I haven't walked back to look at mine.
Oh, you'll see berries.
I might walk back and look when I get home.
They ain't ready to pick yet. Don't walk back yet.
I'll walk back when I get back from Michigan.
All right.
I'm a bit bummed.
As soon as I get home, I'll make my way back.
I think it might have been from a little bit of an early pruning, but my fall gold raspberries had put out a lot of berries, but it's kind of stopped. And I know that it's a two-cropper, but I don't know if we prematurely cut some of that short by chopping the canes that were coming up. It still put on a ton of growth above where it fruited, so I'm not really sure, but that was a treat. I hope it comes back.
That is a vigorous growing plant. My God, Mama grows it at the house. I ate some the other day.
Good?
Oh, so good. They're just like that gold blush color that's just...
Sounds like champagne.
It looks like champagne. That's exactly what it looks like, and it's tastier than champagne.
Oh, I bet. I hate champagne.
Yeah.
Not a fan. No. Yuck.
One kind of a sad note, my fruit cocktail tree of 6 or 7 years is dying of fire blight.
Oh.
And Austin has fielded a couple of questions from y'all about fire blight. It's really sad because it feels like so terminal, so final, because I don't know what to do about it, but it's already kind of too late. And I should have noticed what happened was the plums that were coming in on it were looking great, but then they never fully matured.
Yeah.
They got to a certain point to where they weren't growing, we weren't swelling up with all the water we were getting, which I thought was strange, of course. And then, boom, it started dropping the fruit, and then the leaves started yellowing, and then now, it's just looking so bare.
No good. With these spring rains we're talking about, tons of things love it, yes, for sure. But if a plant doesn't love it, then it ain't good. Excess water can bring a lot of things, and we're a fungusy, buggy state anyway. So the fungus is among us right now, and especially with fruit trees. Tyler, you are not alone. I have seen a ton of fruit trees this year with a lot of that going on. So I'm sorry.
That's so sad.
It was very weird seeing around the base of the trunk where it meets the soil, there was almost like a puddle of oozing sap or whatever it was, but it was black and sticky.
Yeah. Oozing.
Ugh.
Never good with fruit
trees. It just
trees.
was not cool. And so lesson learned. I'll be moving on. I'm thinking about replacing it with a red bud.
Good. Make yourself a fruity cocktail. Cut down the cocktail tree. Get you a red bud.
You can come dig one out of my yard. I have them everywhere. I got volunteers that pop up like crazy.
I want a fancy one.
They're fancy.
Maybe they're not
fancy. They grow like weeds. I actually have to dig a bigger one out of a bed that I let go.
I'm thinking flamethrower or rising sun.
I think you should do it. Whatever tickles your fancy, Tyler.
And I think y'all should too. They're good.
Everybody needs a red bud. Yep. And everyone needs to listen to what we talked about this Saturday.
It was a good show. It was a lot of info.
It was. It was a fun one. So, like always, you will hear the three of us, as well as Josh Carey and David Bates.
You know what? Let's just do it.
Are we ready to dive in?
Let's do
Rock
questions.
and roll.
Okay, here we go. Let's start with the pest question. Help. Japanese beetles are munching down on everything. What is the best product to use? I stopped growing certain things because of Japanese beetles.
It's a good point, and that's interesting because I have not seen a Japanese beetle yet. But
I haven't either.
Yeah, we live a little bit further out, so I have not seen it yet. But around Nashville, I guess you're starting to see it. It's that time. The June bugs and the Japanese beetles are coming out, and they do damage quickly. Like, they're annoying. Like, really do damage quickly, and they're a hard shelled insect, big old body beetle.
They're cute, though.
Kind of pretty.
Yes, they're very pretty.
Their coloring is really nice.
They're exotic looking. They're an exotic invasive insect, which is awful and no fun. I think they're from Asia, hence the name, Japanese beetle.
I'm going to guess. Yeah, I'm going to guess Japan.
But yeah, they do a lot of damage, especially to like crepe myrtle, hibiscus, anything with dark leaves. They really seem to like too. They really like crab apples. Like there's a number of things. They like
my cannas. They like my wild
cannas.
Roses, and what is the other thing?
Usually
my
red
primrose.
stuff. The red shades.
Red stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest. They're not all that picky.
Knockouts.
No.
They love my knockouts. Yeah.
And there are preventative sprays you can spray on things. I just
spray 3 times in one sentence. It's impressive.
The pheromone
Spray the
bags
noun, spray the verb.
work. The pheromone bags work. Yeah, but you got to hang them on the neighbor's mailbox, right, David?
Right, well, that's
the best place to
get
put
a
it.
new neighbor that moves in as a housewarming gift, give it to them, and offer to put it out for them, and put them as far away from your desirables as you can. They're quite effective.
Yep.
They do attract a lot of attention, but
They get full quick.
They get full fast, so you've got to be willing to swap them out.
Oh,
So-
gross. Yeah, those are yuck.
Yeah.
Hey, Helen on Facebook says the Japanese beetles are chowing down on my plants as well. So
Okay.
they're out. They're getting stuff.
All right, so let's just be careful with our sprays if your plants are in bloom, okay? If they're not in bloom, I'm not so much worried about it. But the sprays that are going to kill Japanese beetles are also going to kill bees. So we need to know that. So bees are not going to be active around your plants unless they're in bloom. But crepe myrtles just started to bloom, okay? And there's Japanese beetles that are going to want to be on them. So be careful with that. Now, the actual chemicals that do kill Japanese beetles are pyrethrins, permethrin, lambda-cyhalothrin. That's a weird couple
Say
words.
that one 3 times
I know.
in a row, yeah.
Look at that
But
word.
those are like sprays you can actually spray on the plant, and then the plant takes it in, and once the Japanese beetles munch, that's when they die. So know that. Let's just be. What's the word? Let's be
Judicious with our
that
spray.
responsible.
Yes.
Let's
Be responsible.
responsible gardeners when it comes to our sprays that can kill bees. Okay.
Well,
please do
and lady beetles are also another thing that you don't want to knock down. I mean, they're very beneficial with eating things such as aphids and those kind of things. So ladybugs, lady beetles, whatever you want to call them, you definitely don't want to do damage to them. They're highly beneficial.
I know that's the problem with spraying those chemicals. They kill every bug, not just bad ones. Mm-hmm. Okay, so be careful. Any pruning efforts are greatly desired whenever it comes to cleaning up your plants. If you have a leaf or two that's gotten munched and it looks bad, take the leaf.
Take
I
it.
said that last.
Take the leaf.
Tyler.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I try not to use sprays in my bed just so I attract beneficial insects. And then, like I said, I just stopped planting certain things because in my yard, they just attract Japanese beetle, cannas. I'm about to dig a bunch up if anyone wants any.
Good luck.
Well, they get crazy
I've tried
too,
it once
don't they?
before and it came right back.
They go nuts anyway, though. I mean, cannas, don't they?
Yes.
They-
Yes,
oh, gosh.
but the problem is with mine is they will get to the blooms right before they open.
Oh.
And so I'm like, what's the point? I mean, the leaves
Really?
on mine are really pretty, but
Cannas,
it doesn't do it for me anymore.
They come with a whole host of things.
Yeah, I
Cannas
know
get
you've
too
never
big
liked
too
them.
quick. You can't dig them up. They always come back. And then there's like
That's
a
my
lot of
problem.
caterpillars, Japanese beetles, leaf rollers, which are annoying.
They're kind of cool though,
They're cool.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, but not fun.
but not fun.
Yeah.
No.
So
Not fun. Hey, let's switch over to a different type of pest. Does insecticidal soap work on spider mites? If so, do you repeat the application? Yes, it does work on spider mites. It just smothers the pest. So you do have to keep repeating. I suggest spraying it and then wiping it down, getting all the webbing, top of the leaf, bottom of the leaf, get into the stems. And I usually will repeat it every 3 to 5 days. Now, watch it this time of year with insecticidal soap because if you use it and then your plant is out in the sun, it'll burn those leaves right up.
Yep.
So that's That's not the best way to do it. So use it at night, let it dry, and like keep it in the shade once you do. But it does work for spider mites. Spider mites aren't terrible. And then there's a follow-up question. Oh, David, did you have something to say?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's one little tidbit about mites and around nurseries such as Bates Nursery that uses overhead irrigation. Typically don't have issues with spider mites, and there's a good reason for that because spider mites like dry foliage, and when you have water being applied daily or sprayed directly on the foliage, it is a strong deterrent. It doesn't kill them, but it certainly impedes their ability to reproduce. So if you want to do the most,
it's like a cold shower.
Yeah,
but just to clear, just out of the hose, Josh is.
Okay.
The color of the rain is not really the issue. It's just
where'd you get that? Where are you going?
I'm just saying.
He's just saying.
Okay.
We did talk about that a little bit last week because we had the question about zinnias with spider mites and aphids, and we talked about just spraying them down with water, and it's going to rinse them off. So you could just put your house plant. I mean, I've put mine in the shower before and just let it run on them for a while, and that does help. But then the second question is, have little webs on some of my house plants. How can I tell if they're from a real spider or spider mites? So typically, if it's a real spider, the actual web's going to be a little bit larger, and it's just going to be like 1 or maybe 3. It's not going to spread throughout the plant. Now, the spider mite infestation will be on almost every leaf if it gets pretty bad, like right where the leaf starts to leaf out from the stem. That's usually where they tuck themselves. And then you'll notice
both arachnids, by the way. So
yeah, but the spiders that you're thinking of, the cute little things, they usually don't do anything bad to the plant, but you'll also notice the leaf will start to be discolored, and that's how you know you have spider mites.
It's like a whitish color.
Yeah, do
Whitish
they
or
actually?
yellow, yeah.
Spider mites don't actually produce a web, do they?
Yeah, they've got webbing.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
They do. It's very, very small.
And it's a tight web.
Yeah,
And it's hard to see.
They're a tight knit bunch.
that's right.
all over your
But
plant.
once they take over, it's wild. It's kind of a huge spider mite infestation is a little bit cool in a way because they'll just cover the plant, and then you can finally see them like crawling over everything.
As long as it's somebody else's infestation.
That's right. I've seen a lot of photos. People will bring them in, and I'm like, ooh, that's pretty bad. But spider mites aren't the worst. You can treat them and, get rid of them.
The use of water is the way to go.
Yeah.
It really is. Like you said, like just
Give them a shower.
Yes.
Shower.
Wash them down.
Yep.
Anytime you can do that with anything, water is the first and most organic way to go. Let's be honest.
Let's be real. You're so right. All right, we've got another problem with plants, but this time it's zucchini. Zucchini is getting brown and yellow spots all over the leaves. Is it a fungus? If so, how do I treat it?
Yes, it's probably a fungus. It's been extremely wet.
That's how my cucumbers are right now. They're just they get these spots and then they turn into holes.
But let's observe the plant and let's see if it's on old leaves or if it's on your new leaves. Okay, so like we can spray a fungicide to like help out that spread on the new growth of leaves. But the very first practice to do is to remove those leaves. Do not look at fungusy leaves and just be like, oh, I've got a fungus, and then you just leave it. Like, don't do that. Like,
do that
be
sometimes.
proactive. Like, take those leaves off. Those spores are gonna spread to other leaves and potentially other plants. Like, don't leave those leaves. Don't leave the leaf.
Take it.
Take the leaf.
Take the leaf. Take the
But
leaf.
then, yeah, like I
straightforward.
said, it is. I mean, it really, I don't know how big your plant is, how small it is. I would need to see pictures to see how much pruning you can do. But typically, you can do leaf pruning to get rid of some of those horrible fungal spots that are going to spread to other places.
Now don't
And
throw
a
them
whole
on the
lot of it
ground.
can
Take
be
them and put them in the trash.
That's right. Don't do that. Don't throw them in your compost.
A whole lot of it can be handled just with your thumbnail, just to reach in there and just pinch them off, and and that way you're not, disturbing the pathogen. You're not getting spores in the air. I mean, minimizing that, and that's what it's all about. Is you can a whole lot of efforts that are done in that regard can prevent the need for spraying. It's very manageable. It's only becomes unmanageable when the attention is not being given that should be.
That's right.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty bad at removing leaves. like that, and then it takes over my plants.
Yeah.
And I say, I should have done it at the start, and I didn't, so now I have to pull this whole plant out. My hollyhocks look absolutely terrible right now, covered in rust from bottom to top.
Oh, boy.
I know, but they're still blooming, so, at least I got some pretty flowers.
There you go.
You know what? It's time to go ahead and move into our hydrangea portion of the show. We're doing it early.
Okay.
Because we got to get you just,
I got to get.
you don't have enough passion yet for you, so there's something.
We haven't done What's in Bloom yet.
Let's talk. Oh, that's what it is. That's when he gets passionate. But anyways, so we did get a live question in on Facebook about hydrangeas, so let's start there. Are there any oak leaf hydrangeas that will do well in full sun?
Okay. Hydrangeas can live in full sun. Oak leaf specifically can live in full sun. It can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what full sun to you is. Okay, so when I think of full sun, I think all day long, full sun, like out there. And do oak leaves really want that? No, not really. Like, if you have that site, why is oak leaf the thing you think about? Like, why are you like, I'm going to push it to the max.
I love oak
I'm going to
leaves.
see if it can handle it. And like I said, it can live. Does it stress? Typically, yes, it does. Like oak leaf hydrangea does not want sun all day long. Now, if you have a 4 to 6 hour a day type of scenario, which we term full sun, really full sun for us is only about 4 to 6 hours. Any plant that's getting that is a full sun plant is going to be fine in that. But oak leaf hydrangea, if it's getting like 6 to 8 to 10 or like late in the afternoon, blazing hot sun up against a brick wall or something like that, you're going to stress it. In August, it's going to have some like brown tips. It's just, that's what's going to happen.
You want to talk about pushing things to the limit?
Yeah, Tyler, do it.
My oak leaf hydrangea are at that limit. They get sun after about 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. all the way until about 5 or 6 p.m. And thankfully, there are trees that the sun starts to go behind at the end of the day because the first 2 years, they wilted hard at the end of a very hot summer day. And I put them through their paces. I'd go and water them whenever they wilted, obviously, because that's a warning sign, a red flag. But now this year, I mean, with all the water we've been getting, they've been doing a lot better. But I don't think they would want any more sun than that.
Yeah, and like
a lot of times it's not the direct sunlight; it's the reflected heat off the house itself, off the masonry structure, whatever. And what's like in your case, I'm assuming, Tyler, they have now gotten big enough where they shade the foundation behind them. That, in conjunction with the trees, has given them just enough relief to be able to manage the upper ends of that without showing a whole lot of stress. The wilting is a part of it. Then you're going to have leaves that are going to be looking bad. So, as Austin's already mentioned, it's not that they won't live there. It's just not optimal.
And it's also, too, like Tyler, yours right now, like we've had adequate rainfall, which is great. And it's also early still in the growing season. So even something like a classic shade plant, let's talk about like hosta for a second.
Right.
You can grow hosta in the full sun. Hey, I just said it. The hosta society is going to be mad at me. Look, hosta doesn't want sun all that much at all. I can handle even deep, heavy shade. But my mother-in-law has been growing hostas in the full sun for 25 years.
Wow.
Big rings of hosta. I mean, huge. And right now, this time of year, with the adequate rainfall, they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. They can handle it. Now, come August, whenever we get to that nasty afternoon, hot, horrible sun all day long, those hostas torch. They torch. So it's kind of just the time of year. Like, it's okay right now. It's not going to be okay later. You're going to see some damage. You're going to see some issues. Same thing with oak leaf.
And it'll be okay. That's
It's going to be great.
Same with one of my Japanese maple. I planted it in full sun. It doesn't love it, but mine like July, towards the middle of July, the leaves start to burn, especially at the top. They start to get crispy, but the plant itself is still healthy. I like it in that spot.
Yeah.
And I don't mind those crispy leaves because I like where it is.
If you can deal with that, you can live with it.
You can live with it. Yes, you can. How about best fertilizer for hydrangeas?
I mean,
What would
anything.
you do? What would Kev do?
I mean, there's also acidic condition considerations, right?
If you want to change the color of your hydrangea, and this is the macrophylla hydrangeas, the big leaf hydrangeas, the ones that really like the water and a lot of shade, those are the ones you can change pH by giving them more of an acid-loving fertilizer and make them blue if you like blue. If you don't like blue and you want pink, then don't give an acid fertilizer. But really, any general fertilizer for your hydrangeas is going to be fine. Any organic material you can put on the ground would be great.
It's never a bad time of year to add Earth Mix to your garden. Earth Mix garden products are sustainably sourced, living soils and amendments crafted to give you the best success for your gardening efforts. Establishing a raised bed? Use Garden Premium Topsoil Blend for an excellent performing growing medium for flowers and vegetables. Amend your gardens with their supernatural compost, with all the nutrients needed to recharge existing soils. For houseplants, their Proganics Indoor Grow Mix is a fantastic potting medium that will feed for up to 6 months without the need for additional fertilizer. Earth Mix is sold only at independent garden centers, so head over to earthmix.net/find earthmix to locate one near you. Success begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products.
Hey, we got one more hydrangea question to get in. My climbing hydrangea.
No.
I know this is Austin's favorite plant. Did not bloom.
Surprise, surprise.
Is it too much shade or is it too young? My plant is about 1 year old.
It's that plant. Some plants just decide to bloom some years and some plants don't.
Yep.
Really?
I swear, there's something behind that.
You've talked me out of buying a climbing hydrangea for a couple years now. Every so often I'm like, I'm going to get one. And you're like, Caroline, don't do it.
That plant's insane. Like, its vegetative growth is insane. Like, it will take over a whole 50-foot oak tree. Not take it over. It doesn't, like, kill it or anything, but it will run the whole way up it. And then some years, it does not bloom. And that plant does want some shade, y'all. It's like... That's what it is. Like, it grows up trees, you know, like up underneath canopies. So it's fine with the shade, and even in deep shade, I've seen it bloom. But it's rare to see that plant bloom. It's annoying. I said it.
That's all you got.
I said it.
And, you know, the flower is not really all that either. I mean, as of the hydrangea flowers that are come in nature, it's decidedly the least significant.
Yep.
I know. Blooming things can be tricky, but... I'm seeing a lot of stuff still.
Are you?
You know, flowers
What's in bloom? With Austin.
Thanks, Tyler.
That was
You're the
smooth.
man.
Welcome.
There it is.
Right
I've got
on
a lot
point.
going on right now.
I know you do.
You're doing great, Tyler.
There's a lot going on around town when it comes to blooming.
Yep.
Y'all don't call me out if I miss something, okay? There's a lot out there.
We will.
You know,
Miriam will.
Stop. Hey, Miriam, your yucca's still blooming.
I know.
Hi. Okay. Here's a new one. Balloon flower.
Yep.
Yes, mine looks great.
I love balloon flower. When it's in bud, you can squeeze it and it's like you can pop it.
Like a
Don't do
balloon.
that because you're gonna mess up your bloom. But they're cute. They come in blue. They come in white. We have some right now. Not a lot because they're blooming, and that means they're leaving. But balloon flower, what a cute little perennial. Y'all should be growing that.
And it
you
gets taller
cannot
than you
kill
think
it.
it'll be.
It gets tall. You can't kill it. It's got a
No.
velvety leaf. It's a beautiful little plant. Let's keep moving. Shasta Daisy's still going.
Mine's
They're
still
about
not.
done. I'm getting ready to deadhead those, though. Getting kind of annoying. Caroline, your bee balm's still going. Butterfly weed, I noticed. For the monarch butterflies, that is just
mine
popping
is
off.
so healthy this year, too.
It's crazy. Hey,
Yeah.
everything's healthy this year, y'all. The rainfall has been adequate. We are lush out there. Middle Tennessee is money power right now. Hey, hollyhock's still rusting up, but blooming. Sorry, Caroline.
It's okay.
Verbena's still going. That Verbena bonariensis, that perennial. God, that's such a good cut flower. It's such a good plant. It blooms taller than you think it does.
5
Purple.
foot.
So good. It's been a daylily kind of season, y'all. All of them just popping and still going full show, not even half show anymore. Full show, looking great. My alliums just started. Ornamental onions, what a great plant. So tidy, so cute. Just starting, not full show, about half show, but they are starting, looking good. Elderberry's still going. What a big old weed. Hostas. Hostas.
Got a question about that later.
Oh, great. Hosta's looking great. Your shade loving Hosta Society. Love you. Hey, great work. Canna lilies are awful, but they're blooming. Calla
They're
lilies.
not awful.
Hey, yeah, they are. They're awful to me. Calla lilies, if you're lucky enough to have a calla lily that comes back and perennialized like Mr. Bates does in his backyard, or he did. I'm not sure if it's still there. I need to go look at that today. But calla lilies, shout out to my sister. She loves calla lilies. I got her one for Mother's Day. They're such a beautiful flower.
They are.
They're so beautiful.
gorgeous.
There's one right up the road, blooming yellow, that comes back perennial every year. It's
Wow.
like great. Right up by their mailbox. Y'all, calla lilies, they're beautiful. A weed that you see on the side of the interstates, Queen Anne's lace. What about that? Wild carrot, people call it.
I love Queen Anne's lace.
Do you?
Yeah.
It makes a great cut flower. I'll give you that.
It's
But
very
it is a
pretty.
weed. It is an
And then you
absolute
get
weed.
stick tights after that. You get
Uh-huh.
those They stick to everything. It's the original Velcro.
And then once again, hey, Miriam, yucca, it's still blooming. I like yucca. All the hydrangeas. I'm a hydrangea lover. Y'all know this. I don't have to say that. Why did I say that?
We definitely know.
I don't know. All the hydrangeas going. My quick fire is money. I've got a theory about. I'm not going there. I'm going there. I'm going to talk to y'all later about this.
Oh, okay.
Theories. Okay. But all the hydrangeas. Oak leaf's almost done. They're still there on their way out. The limelights, the panicles, they're on their way in. It's going to be great. Okay. Those roses, the wild roses that are blooming pink, not the white ones, the pink ones.
Oh, my pink ones are going crazy. You'll love them.
What is that?
But they haven't hit them yet.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Rosa rugosa is what mine is.
It's a rugosa, yes.
Rugosa.
But they're just wild.
Yeah.
Out in the woods, but they're blooming, even in shade.
Yeah.
Hey.
But they will take over if you plant them in your beds.
A lot of thorn and leaf, little bitty blooms.
Good
Yeah,
roses.
But they're
bunch of
cute.
them. There is a bunch
Fantastic
of them.
roses.
They're super cute. Okay, let's go to the trees. What trees are blooming?
Go.
Some
Yes.
new ones. Hey, Chinese chestnut's still blooming, still spraying. I talk about the spray. They look like starfish.
Yeah.
They really do.
I'm a fan.
Magnolias and sweet bay magnolias still blooming, still smelling fantastic, which is what they do. Hey, the sumacs, our native sumac, they're doing it.
Yep.
They're up. They're big. They're
Doing
doing
their
it.
thing.
They're another weed too, or weed tree. I'm pretty sure I read one time that sumac is native to all 50 states.
Wow.
Don't know that that's true. Y'all Google that. Let me know if that's correct. Maybe not Hawaii.
Y'all Google that
It
because
like-
he doesn't.
it likes
y'all
to
do it.
spread, and the birds like the,
I'm pretty sure
the
it's
berries,
native to every 50 states.
so that would make sense to me.
Okay. Hey, shout out, Caroline. Your favorite, mimosa.
Yeah, buddy.
Just showed up
I
this
love
week.
mimosas.
I
I
love
know
mimosas,
it's
Tracy.
invasive, but I can't help it.
We can't help it.
I've loved that tree since I was little.
Yeah, you can't help it. It's such a pretty tree. Like I love mimosa too. Okay. Hey, Vitex just started probably in the city. Caroline just told me hers is just about to open, so I included it on the list.
Mine is starting to pop.
Tyler, thank you for that. Vitex, Chase Tree, beautiful plant, blue, really pretty.
Really
okay.
pretty.
You know what I saw this week for the first time?
What did you see?
Crepe myrtle. Just the start of crepe
Oh.
myrtle season. I've just started. This is the first one. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
So happy.
Let's keep it on going. Love a good crepe myrtle. I saw it. And then my favorite, by far my favorite tree. It's not my favorite tree. It's my favorite summertime blooming tree. The golden rain tree. Y'all.
I saw them too.
Hey.
I saw them too.
Yellow.
Yes,
What
sir.
blooms yellow? Not a lot. You don't get a lot of yellow trees.
That's
and
true.
it is just up and great. And then shout out my last one, Ben Trest.
Benny Ben Trest.
Yep, that's his name.
Benny Ben the
He did
Benjamin
this.
Trust.
He did this. Look.
Dahlias.
Dahlias.
Wow.
Or
Dahlia.
Dahlias.
Dahlias.
Dahlias in a LaCroix cup. Look at that.
That's Ben right there.
Thanks, Ben. Love you. That's what's in bloom.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous dahlia. Can't remember the name of it. He was like, "Here you go, Caroline. I don't remember what it's called." He said, "Don't worry, Ben. I'll take it on the show."
Great.
Edward and Alita, both one said Black-Eyed Susans and Clematis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, still rolling.
Oh, yeah.
I
Hey,
hate black-eyed Susan, so that's why you didn't. Say
I hate black eyed Susan. I'm not going to even talk about that. But yeah, hey, Caroline, my clematis is still blooming.
Is it?
Good point,
Because
guys.
We did get a question about clematis. It says brand new clematis, partial sunshade, suddenly went brown and crispy.
Great.
Help.
That happens.
Y'all
Water?
do better. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Austin.
Well, things that happen that quickly, like it shouldn't be that quick.
What if they didn't do anything?
what if it was the plant?
No. It's rarely the plant. If you bought a happy, healthy plant, it just doesn't just go to a place and then within a few days die.
Does it shade itself out at all?
Mine went to
No.
a place.
Does it?
Clematis can live in deep shade. I've seen it. I've
Water-
observed it. I've
water
seen it
issues,
bloom in
fungal
deep
issues?
shade.
You think
It's
it-
always water. Always.
Water. So maybe they didn't water it enough. If it,
It
was
could
a
be
new,
not enough. It could.
newly purchased plant.
Okay.
If it's new and it dies quickly, it's almost always not enough water. And you can say, well, we've had tons of rain. We have had tons of
No.
rain. Don't get me wrong. But the rain rarely gets past like the turf level, like you're burying something deeply in a hole.
and using mulch and using landscape
Yes.
fabric.
So like actual water
yeah.
getting down to the root zone where it needs to be with the dirt that's around it, that needs to be adequately moist pretty much constantly within the first 2 to 3 weeks of its life. So I'm sorry that's happened to you. I'm so sorry.
Wow. Good apology.
Edward also wants to know what is it that you got against Black-Eyed Susans?
Yeah.
They take over.
Oh.
When I
It's
was
not
a
a bad
kid, my
thing.
mother made me pull them.
Oh.
She planted them in her perennial bed.
Childhood
It is.
memory from
It
that.
is.
It always goes back to
Mommy
childhood.
issues here.
Mama.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But if you've got a spot, so I planted 2, and they were probably like 5-inch pots in 2017, and now I have a grove of black-eyed Susan.
That's what I'm saying.
They beat out the weeds. I wanted them to grow in. They're like, I don't have to weed there because it's so dense. Don't look at me like that.
You have to
And
weed the
then
black-eyed Susan.
Do they do?
No,
do
I
they do
don't.
well as an understory?
They actually can grow. Mine isn't getting full sun. It's probably getting 3 hours of sun a day. Now, I wouldn't say understory. They do like direct sun.
They'll live anywhere. Let's be honest.
You won't get as many blooms.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I might have a spot.
If you have a spot this big, then don't forget about it.
Oh, no.
It needs to be
Mine's
this big.
like this big.
I want it to be this big.
Yeah.
I want it to be big.
All right. Should we cut down our
pass.
iris that is starting to flop and turn brown on the tips? No.
Yeah, no, don't cut
Don't
those
cut
yet.
your iris down. Your blooms will be so much better next year if you just leave it up.
Yeah.
And this is why I like plant stuff on top of each other. Layer my garden beds. Like with my peonies this time, well, they don't look bad right now. Like the foliage still looks great, but soon they'll be brown and a little crispy. But I plant other flowers in front of them that come up at a different time. So then there's always interest in your bed, and it kind of covers those not so pretty things.
Rocks.
Put rocks in your bed. Well, the
I
rocks
do.
also help me to know where I have stuff planted.
Yes.
So they're great. And they look really, really cool.
They do.
Austin.
Yeah.
All right. Established switchgrass all died suddenly. What
What?
are your thoughts on what could have happened? That's a weird one.
What? Switchgrass
We don't know
die?
how long it's been established. Yeah.
Did they cut it, or did they trim it too much, or did what?
I mean, you only cut
If
it
you
once
do.
a year.
Right. I mean,
Just cut it before it comes back in the spring. But why didn't it come back? I need more info on this one because
Yeah.
established switchgrass typically doesn't die. Like, I don't know why that would have happened. Was there a Roundup in the scenario? Did someone treat your lawn with something? Are there like weird mole activity happening, which still wouldn't even seem to kill it?
all of it.
I don't know.
Because also, if they're established, they can also handle drought because their roots just.
Oh my
keep
God, the
going
roots
down.
are insane
Yeah.
on the switchgrass. Like used for erosion control consistently because their roots are insane. So I don't know why that
That's
would be. Something's happening. We need more. We
Maybe
need
it was
more
a new
info.
planting. Yeah. If you're watching right now or listening, let us know.
Yes,
Send us
please.
some more.
You know, some say there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. But we say Bates Nursery is. Located in Nashville, Tennessee, Bates Nursery and Garden Center is a separate world unto itself. They feature the widest variety of plants, including trees, shrubs, native plants, perennials, houseplants, and specimen evergreens. Their knowledgeable staff will assist you with any gardening needs, catering to any experience level. Open year-round, and Caroline, tell them how to get here.
Bates Nursery is located minutes from downtown Nashville off Briley Parkway, exit 19 in beautiful Whites Creek, Tennessee. You'll see it's worth the drive from anywhere. No time to visit the nursery? Shop online with delivery and pickup options available for the greater Middle Tennessee area at www.batesnursery.com.
So if you want to learn a lot about living and a little about love, visit Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932.
Let's get back to questions. We got a few live ones in. Somebody says, speaking of insane roots on switchgrass, I have a question about that. I have a very mature switchgrass, 3 feet wide or so. Would it be possible to divide it into smaller plants and replant in a different location?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that with my heavy metal switchgrass last year.
Uh-huh.
And
You're
it
just
did great.
Take a sharp shovel, like David always says, and you just work the edges, okay? We're going to work from the outside in. So you just pop your shovel in there, get a chunk of roots with some grass with it, separate it, move it, water it, certainly water it, and get it in a new spot. But yeah, a 3-foot switchgrass is big. Like, that's big, y'all. So that can certainly be shortened.
Just get a file and sharpen the edge of that shovel.
Yeah, make it a sharp shovel because the root system of switchgrass is insane. We talked about that.
it
You
is
just said that.
crazy.
It is hard. It's not going to be like an easy dig.
And if it's established, it's going to be real tricky. Ben Trust actually dug up a bunch of Northwind switchgrass. And I got some of it, but he was like, that was hard to dig up. And then Helen says, Caroline, would you consider doing a boot camp on how and when to separate plants that benefit from that process? That would be a great Bates Botanical boot camp.
Sounds
Write
like
it down.
we'll
And maybe we
schedule it
can
up.
do it on site when I go to separate my hosta, which we're taking a poll, but I'm still going to do it. We got a wonderful email of some daylilies from one of our viewers who I've actually gotten to talk to here at the garden center before. And it's, I love daylilies, but not the brown dying foliage. Mine are just starting to bloom, and all my varieties have unattractive leaves, as in the photo attached. What can I do to make them healthier looking? Also, I have some overgrown houseplants. When is the best time to divide them? Thank you. I love the podcast. Eagerly anticipating every week. You guys are helpful and knowledgeable. As far as the houseplants go, this is the time of year. You want to do it when the days are long and it's warm outside, even if you keep them inside. So if you want to separate them, go ahead and do it now. And then as far as the daylilies go,
prune those older leaves, y'all. Daylilies get rust just like hollyhock does. Like it's an orange, brownish looking rust that starts on the oldest leaves and then works its way up towards the top. Like I talked about earlier, anytime you can clean those up and get rid of them, you're going to help stop the spread of that. Fungicides can be helpful, but really pruning is the way to go on daylilies. It's not going to kill daylilies at all. Like you can't hardly kill a daylily, but it is going to make the foliage look unattractive. So get in there, prune it out.
All right. And the Miriam had sent a photo of her yucca, which looked fantastic, and said you can rinse and saute yucca blossom petals for a delicious omelet. Miriam, that sounds amazing.
Wow. Miriam's so fancy.
Miriam is so fancy.
I've said it before, but she's so fancy.
She's so fancy.
You trying to make yucca omelets?
I need to try that. Mine didn't bloom this year, but maybe I'll get a bloom next year. And hey, we got another live question about bee balm, which we got quite a few bee balm questions in. Planted bee balm a few weeks ago in full sun, but no blooms as of yet. Is there anything I can do to encourage blooming?
Yell at it.
No, you got to be patient. It's a new plant. You just planted it, y'all. It's trying to settle in. It's trying to figure out its spot. And then once it does, it's going to throw some blooms.
We've gotten this question a lot as far as new plantings go of everything. They're like, I just planted this a few weeks ago or like a month ago, and it's not growing a lot, it's not blooming a lot, but you don't see what's happening under the soil level, which those roots are establishing, your plant's getting strong, it's getting in its spot, and it's going to be even better. Then someone says, can I transplant bee balm now or should I wait? I planted it in the wrong spot.
Oh, no.
Welcome to my world.
You can now. I don't necessarily recommend it. We typically recommend this over dormancy, whenever it's dormant. If you need to do it now, though, just do it. Just make sure that water is close. Do not let it go dry after you move it.
Dig the hole first.
Dig the hole first.
That's right.
All right. Josh?
Golly Moses, it's time. Wow. Honest to goodness, folks, we enjoy our hour that we come in here on Saturday mornings more than you can possibly imagine. We hope you enjoy it, too. Hey, go out to YouTube. Subscribe to things and share people and let us know what's going on because we want to see you out there. Throw it up on TV in the living room. You can watch what's going on. Hey, for everybody here at Gardening Inside Out, we thank you for participating. We'll see you right here from the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery next Saturday morning.
Thank you for tuning into the Gardening Inside Out podcast. If you're looking for more information or more from your hosts, don't forget that we have a live Saturday morning broadcast, 8 a.m. Central Time on YouTube and Facebook. You can also follow us on our Instagram channel. That's @Gardening Inside Out for more posts, reels, and in-depth dives to topics and things we've discussed on the show. If our content resonates with you, consider giving us a follow, like, and subscription on all of our social media pages. See you next time.